Good morning, everybody. It's Randy with Carchaeology, and today is the day that I've got somebody coming to help me out with the fuel system on the Honda CRX. Now, this guy is, well, he's a bit of a legend in the scene when it comes down to Honda performance. This is Oscar Jackson from Jackson Racing, a name that I'm familiar with back from my earliest days of playing with Honda cars. And apparently he's actually driven this car back in the past. The car was brought to his shop at some point in the 1980s so that he could do some adjustments to the transmissions and things like that. And he recalled vividly how much fun it was to drive, and that he was excited about getting a chance to lay hands on it again and hopefully drive it again sometime soon. So he has graciously offered to make the trip out here to the lab to take a look at it and to help me work through the fuel system project. And well, he's going to be here in just a little bit, and I hope to capture some of him here on camera to share the process with you. And then when we get this thing up and running and driving, I guarantee I am going to have a camera on this because I am dying to make this thing go. Okay, so Oscar just left. I did not get him on camera because, man, the conversation was fast and furious, and we went absolutely everywhere, talking about everything, the whole history of him with Honda, the stuff he's working on now, everything. All of that could certainly be another video, and maybe I can talk him into that at some point. But we took a good look at the fuel system to figure out how everything works. Realize that there are two pumps that are mounted underneath this box here, which was the original fuel tank. We realize the fuel inlets are here. This is where the fuel comes in from the fuel tank. A little flapper here to keep the gas from splashing back up into the fuel filler. And then we've got the inlets and outlets and stuff on the top. Also have the float here for the fuel gauge. And all of this was designed for this bladder style fuel cell system that we're just going to shit can and go with something else. So the plan now is to pull this out of here, mark all of this sort of stuff. It looks like we will be able to basically eliminate these big mounting plates here and go with more traditional fittings that provide the same access and outlet to the tank. Both on top and bottom. The one thing I still need to figure out is the fuel gauge, whether we're going to try to reuse this or go with a cylindrical style fuel gauge that'll go right into the top of the tank. But in any case, with his knowledge and his ability to look at all of it and tell me what it all is, I've got a much clearer vision of what needs to be done. He also suggested that we pull out the fuel injectors on both engines, send those off to be cleaned while all of this is going on here, replace both of the fuel tanks, or both of the fuel filters, and then all of the fuel lines. So all of that is in the works. Now I'm going to get going on that, replace the fuel lines all the way around, replace the fuel filters, look into what I need for the fuel gauge, and so on and so forth. So that was all fantastic. Probably the best part of the conversation, though, was hearing his story with Jackson Racing and showing him some of the old literature and stuff I had, and hearing his story, not only with Honda in general, but with this particular Honda CRX. So apparently, Car and Driver originally contacted Oscar to have Jackson Racing do this conversion. But unfortunately, that didn't work out. The magazine was asking for something to be done at a minimal cost. Oscar and Jackson Racing were super busy at that time. They could not take on a freebie project of this level. And so he declined it, but he did suggest that Racing Beat would be a good place to go, which it did. And those folks at Racing Beat did a killer job of making it all happen. But once it was all done, it went up to Jackson Racing, and Oscar spent some time with the car, dialing it in so that it was running and driving right, and shifting properly, which is kind of his main focus. So he did get a chance to drive this car back in the day, to tune it, to dial it in, which is something that he has a lifetime of being able to do. And he shared a really fun story about this car. His wife, when he first met her, the first ride they took was in this car, and he told her this morning that when he was coming that he was going to work on the twin engine Honda, and she said, well, give that car a kiss for me, because I think it was this car that helped bring them both together. So my plan down the road here is to get them both in the car, and I'll hopefully be able to get that on camera as well. So a little love story behind the twin engine Honda CRX and Oscar Jackson with Jackson Racing. So in any case, he just left. I've got my laundry list of stuff to do and parts to find. We're going to get back together at some point to put it all together. I think Ben up the road is going to make the tank. I've got some info on what is needed for that. And hopefully within the next few weeks, we will get this thing up and running and on the road, and we'll get the Jacksons in the front seat. In any case, that's the update on the Honda CRX twin engine car and driver show car here at Carchaeology Labs. Keep on digging them up and driving them, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.